Godzilla has a complicated history with video games, so this is part 1 of my new series where I talk about the entire history of Godzilla in gaming. The first Godzilla game ever released was Godzilla vs. Three Giant Monsters, released in June of 1984. It was developed and published by Bandai for the MSX. In the game are Godzilla, Megalon, Kumonga, King Ghidorah and Minilla. Godzilla's only attack is his atomic breath. Godzilla has 4 lives which can go down by either enemies touching him, the enemies hitting him with their attacks, or Godzilla falling into a hole. First Dragon Godzilla Metropolis Destruction was released in 1985. It also developed and published by Bandai. Released for the FM7 and the X1, the only kaiju is Godzilla who you play as, and you can step on tanks and fire your atomic breath at soldiers, which gives you points. Godzilla-kun was released in 1985 and developed by Compile. It was made for the MSX. It's a puzzle game that has 3D versions of Godzilla kaijus. You can defend yourself in 3 ways. You can punch enemies, make them fall into water, or drop rocks on them. The movie monster game was released in 1986. It was developed and published by Epix and released for the Apple II. In the game you choose a kaiju, location and a mode. There are 5 modes. The first is called Escape. In this mode you escape the city. The second mode is called Lunch. Here you eat as much as you can. The third is called Search, and you have to search for the kaiju's kidnapped offspring. The fourth is called Destroy Landmark. Here you search for a landmark and destroy that landmark. The fifth is called Berserk. Here you have to destroy as much of the city as you possibly can. Monsters Fair was released in 1986. It was developed and published by Toho. It was made for the MSX. You play as Mothra, but Godzilla is one of the enemies. Godzilla can shoot his atomic breath at Mothra once, and it is not that easy to kill because he's very fast. But he can also be pretty easily trapped, so you can just shoot him and kill him. You get 1000 points when you kill Godzilla. Godzilla Challenge 1 was released in 1987 and released and published by Takara. So was Godzilla Challenge 2 was released the same year. It was made for the Takara Video Challenger. It includes clips from Godzilla movies that you can use a blaster to shoot at the targets in those clips. Godzilla Monster of Monsters was released in 1988. It was developed by Compile and published by Toho. It was made for the NES. The game is on a grid of these hexagon spaces. Godzilla can move 2 spaces per turn and Mothra can move 4. After they move, they can go to a side-scrolling section where they fight through waves of enemy tanks, spaceships and more. This game was just titled Godzilla. It was released in 1990. It was developed by Compile and published by Toho. It was obviously made for the Game Boy. It's a puzzle game where you play as Godzilla moving through a maze. You fight multiple other kaijus from the franchise. The maze is called The Matrix. And you're in it because those other kaijus kidnapped Minilla. So you have to find your way through the Matrix and fight Minilla. Godzilla 2 War of the Monsters was released in 1992. It was developed and published by Toho. It was released for the NES. This game was a sequel to Monster of Monsters. But the gameplay is totally different, because here you play as military units on these grid maps, and you are trying to prevent Godzilla and other kaijus from destroying specific buildings in the city. This was part 1 of my new series where I talk about every Godzilla game ever released. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.